Hello everyone. Today I want to do something a little different from what we usually do on this channel. I do not want to talk about a specific supplement, a specific nutrient, or a specific habit. I want to talk about something that sits underneath all of those things, the foundational shift in perspective that makes every piece of nutritional information you encounter actually useful, rather than just more noise in an already overwhelmingly noisy space. That shift is this: understanding your body not as a passive recipient of what you eat, but as a communicating, responsive, continuously adapting biological system that is trying, at every moment, to tell you what it needs. Let me explain what I mean. Most people relate to food through one of two frameworks. The first is restriction food as something to be controlled, limited, and carefully managed to prevent the body from doing something unwanted. The second is indulgence. Food is pleasure, comfort, and reward, consumed in response to appetite without much consideration of what that appetite is communicating. Both frameworks treat the body as something to be navigated around rather than listened to. The problem with both of them is that they produce the same outcome over time: a body that becomes increasingly difficult to read, increasingly reactive to food, and increasingly resistant to the changes the person is trying to make. Because neither framework is actually paying attention to what the body is saying. They are both, in different ways, overriding it. This is a trainable capacity. And understanding the biology behind the signals is what makes the training possible. Persistent fatigue that is not resolved by sleep is almost never a signal to rest more. It is a signal that the energy production process at the mitochondrial level is missing inputs: B vitamins, magnesium, iron, adequate protein, a gut environment capable of absorbing what is consumed. Understanding that signal correctly means not reaching for more caffeine. It means looking at what the cells are trying to produce energy from and what they are not receiving. Bloating after eating is almost never a signal that you are intolerant to a specific food. It is a signal that the gut environment receiving that food is compromised, that the bacterial balance is dysbiotic, the gut lining is under stress, the digestive enzyme output is suppressed, or the nervous system is too activated to allow proper digestion. Understanding that signal correctly means not eliminating another food from the list. It means asking what the gut environment needs to restore its capacity to process food without generating that response. Cravings for sugar or refined carbohydrates in the mid-afternoon are almost never a signal of genuine nutritional deficiency. They are a signal that the bacterial populations shaped by previous eating patterns are generating demand for the substrate they were built on. Combined with a cortisol decline that makes the brain reach for a fast serotonin pathway. Understanding that signal correctly means not responding to it automatically. It means recognizing the loop and choosing to interrupt it with something that addresses the bacterial environment and the cortisol dip, rather than feeding both. According to research, the ability to correctly identify and interpret these kinds of internal signals, rather than acting on them, automatically is associated with significantly better long-term dietary quality, lower rates of metabolic dysfunction, and greater resilience to the environmental food cues that drive overconsumption in the absence of genuine physiological need. In one study, participants who underwent a structured interoceptive awareness training program showed measurable improvements in dietary quality, reduced emotional eating frequency, and better gut symptom scores over 16 weeks without any specific dietary prescription. The training was about listening, not about rules. Now let me be specific about what understanding your body at a biological level actually enables that intuition alone does not. Intuition tells you that something does not feel right after a meal. Understanding tells you whether that feeling is a gut motility issue, a fermentation response, a glucose artifact, an immune reaction to a specific compound, or a nervous system activation that is suppressing normal digestion. The difference between those explanations is not academic. It determines whether the appropriate response is to change the food, change the timing, change the eating environment, change the gut environment, or change nothing at all, and address an upstream variable that has nothing to do with the meal itself. This is the shift I want to leave you with. Every signal your body sends has a biological source. Every craving, every symptom, every pattern of energy and fatigue and mood and digestion is the output of systems that are responding to inputs you are providing and communicating clearly about whether those inputs are adequate, excessive, mistimed, or missing. The information is not hidden. It is continuous. It is available to you in every moment of every day through the experience of living in your body. What changes when you understand the biology is not the amount of information, it is your capacity to read it correctly. Food stops being a set of rules you are trying to follow or resist. It becomes a language you are learning to speak fluently. A back and forth between what you provide and what the body communicates in response. And once you are in that conversation, genuinely in it, the way you eat changes, not because someone told you what to eat, but because you can finally hear what your body has been telling you all along. According to research, sustainable dietary behavior change, the kind that persists beyond 6 months and continues to improve over years, is almost universally driven by internal regulation rather than external prescription. People who change because they understand their own biology maintain that change. People who change because they are following a plan revert when the plan ends. The understanding is not a supplement to the dietary change. It is the mechanism by which the change becomes permanent. You have been living in this body your entire life. It has been communicating with you the entire time. Today, I want to invite you to start listening with a little more precision, because the conversation it is trying to have with you is one of the most useful ones available. I hope this landed the way it was intended, not as more information to manage, but as a different relationship with the information you already have access to. Drop a comment and tell me what signal you have been misreading. I read every one of them. If this resonated, hit the like button and share it with someone who has been fighting their body instead of listening to it. And if you are new to NutriFlow, this is exactly the kind of conversation we have here. Subscribe, hit the bell, and I will see you in the next one.